This is Joe Price. I just wanted to show you how you can use the family search records to do a community project that can be very personalized to the particular city or particular surname that you want to work on. So the key thing is you go into search records, and then you just need to know the record collection you want. You can come up and search by country, or if you happen to know the name of the collection. So here I get England and Wales census, and you can pick what year you want to do. I'm going to do 1911. And then at this point, you get to pick the community that you want to do. And so I'm actually going to pick a community that is from my family tree. So let me just paste that in here. So Armley, Yorkshire, England. And then my family name on that part of the tree is Pratt. So this is the great thing, is then I get to have this very personalized experience. Now notice it says 2,411 results. I can actually make these exact, and it'll really narrow it down just to those specific cases that fit that criteria perfectly. So this is 20. And so let me just show you what you would do at this point. First of all, every time you see these little buttons, these are people that are already on the tree. And if it doesn't have that icon, then it's not, it is at least not attached to someone on the tree. They might still be on the tree. So let me just show you one example. So right here, if I click Ellen, notice she doesn't have an icon here. So I'm going to hit Ellen. It brings me to this record page. And the really important thing is right here, similar historical records. So you can see that this Ellen in 1911 is probably the same as this Ellen in 1901. So if I find Ellen on the tree, then I'm going to be able to actually do both, attach both records. So then what I do is I hit review and attach. And what we're hoping will come up is a possible match. So notice here, it says, good news, we may have found a match. And so you just hit select, and now you're here in Source Linker. And so this is what those hints that we were going to create for you that we're hoping to provide at some point, but this is allowing you to get to those on your own, but in a very personalized way. Actually, in some ways, this is better because you can search by surname, by place, you can do by birth year and other things. But then we look at the information and we decide if it's a match. So notice here we have multiple people matching up really well. And so then we hit add, attach, compare, add, attach, and then compare, add. Okay, so we've just attached a census record to this person. So let me show you what you can do next once you've done this. Notice it's giving us a little flag about standardization, so we can go in and standardize that really quick if we want. And when we standardize things, it makes search work better. Other things we can do, we can hit view my relationship. Okay, so in that case, it did not find a relationship. The other thing that's great is notice here on sources, now it's going to have me listed as a person. And if someone clicks here, they can contact me. So this is a great way for you to help people that are related, because they might reach out to you and you could have a conversation and say, like, are there other ways that I can help you? So let's go back to this page. So now I'm going to refresh. Now notice that what's going to happen is that Ellen, who we just did, she's now has an icon, which means she's on the tree and attached. So this allows you, these little icons here, make it really easy for you to kind of keep track of which ones you've done and which ones you still need to do. Let me show you another example. Let's click on Ernest. So again, here we are on Ernest, and notice here he is in another record. Let's hit review and attach. And so that awesome sign did not pop up. We can also hit possible matches. It says no possible match. So in this case, what we're going to have to do is something slightly different. So let's come back here to this record. What I'm going to do is pull this over here. Now here's probably the hardest thing that I'm going to show you, but this is a really, really important thing to know how to do, is once you're on a person page, anyone's person page, you hit recents and then add unconnected person. And you're going to bring the information over from the record. Okay, so notice I'm grabbing the name, the birth year, and the birthplace. We're going to put it right there. I think here, for Yorkshire. Okay. Okay. So notice the nice thing about doing this is then sometimes it will pull up a possible match. So our person has, his name's Ernest, his parents are George and Jane. So as we look here, we have someone whose name is Ernest. We have a possible match there, but none of these are looking like fantastic matches. So I'm just going to create a new person. Okay, so now we've just put a new person on the tree. Now we hit family search. And notice here's that record. And so then we're just going to click here, and then we're going to do review and attach. And so now what we're going to do is we just put Ernest on the tree, but now we're attaching a source to him, and we're also bringing in the rest of his family. And at this point, I think the best thing to do is try to attach other sources to each of the family members. and then see if you can take this little island that we created and branch out until you connect to other people on the tree. And depending on how complete the tree is in that particular part of the UK, you might bump into people very, very quickly. So here we go. So let me just show you that last step. And so really, I think the most important thing I would say is, so now let me just show you something. If we go back to our records and we hit refresh, notice that now, oops, you know what? Okay, we'll go back. Well, let me just show you again how to get to that original place. So here we go, England and Wales, come here to 1911. Okay, we're gonna paste in the residence place. Paste in the last name, make those exact. Okay, and so now when we come back to this page, you're going to see that now, you know, that whole family now has the icon, and so you can see that we're getting pretty close to complete coverage for this particular group. All we have left is this little nephew, and nephews are a little harder because they're not really, you know, it's harder to connect them to their family, but we'd still want to put him on. And that's the case, every single Pratt living in Armley is now on the tree. So then what do I want to do at that point? Well, if I care deeply about Armley, then I would get rid of the Pratt part. If I care deeply about the Pratt part, I'd keep the Pratt part, and maybe I'd do all of Yorkshire, or maybe I'd do an adjoining county. But the neat thing about this then is you can pick where you want to grow the tree. And the other thing I love about this is, especially if you focus on a surname, then you can start to reach out to people in that community with that surname and maybe involve them in the project or ask them if they'd like to see their family or like to see how you're related. But this is a way of taking a tree growth experience where we're growing the tree so others can see their family and turning it into a connection experience. Okay, so I hope this has been a helpful thing. And I guess there's one last thing I was going to show you is just now that we've put Ernest on the tree, how do we grow the tree from there? Well, notice that now we're going to start to get other record hints. And so we can start to use those other record hints to maybe find out who Ernest married, maybe learn more about who his parents were. Maybe we can have made a name from a record. So notice here, we can pull this up here. Okay. And you know, I'm not an expert on UK records, but I'm sure that the people working on this will have a better idea of knowing when it's a match. But like here, if this is a match, then we would get his exact birth date. I'm not sure if it's a match. So let me just show you one other thing I like to do, which is I like to come over here on Ancestry, or I guess you might want to use Find My Past, but I love to come over and look and see what other people think about this record. So if I come here, right here, I can see all of the records that Ancestry thinks are matches. I can also come down here and hit Find Others, and maybe we'll find him in a public tree. So you can see here that, like, here's an Ernest. So if I could find a good match, and this, let's see if Florence might be his. So if Florence is in fact, let's go to that. You know, so again, then we start doing kind of normal research. But let's take a look right here. So if this is a good match, which, yeah, it looks like it is a good match. See, there's that whole family. So if that's a good match, then the neat thing is then we just found the maiden name of her mother, and we found her mother's parents, and so we can start to branch the tree out in that direction. But again, that kind of becomes the research step of this. So there's the tree growth step, the research part, and both are fantastic. Both are just ways of helping people see their family. So good luck, and let us know if you have any other ways that we can help.